Hey everyone, it's Jamie from BestNerdLife and welcome to another video game review. Before I start, a quick shout out to Connor at Gentle Giant Games for sending over a review code. At its core, Spiritfall is a game that seems to hold a great reverence for animals. Many of the enemies have a familiar animalistic look to them, while still feeling otherworldly. The divine spirits that reside over the world are also all based on animals, although each imbued with a different elemental power. These different elements do come into play when the protagonist, the Omen Forged, is introduced into the world. Chosen as a vessel by the perennial flame, the Omen Forged is given a mask by the divine spirits. This mask holds a key to restoring their power, diminished as it is. To restore this power, the player must fight through dangerous regions full of a multitude of enemies. To bolster a run, resources, items and blessings, both permanent and temporary, can be collected. Each blessing is a buff to the basic movement, attacks and attributes the Omen Forged has. By encountering the Ice Bear Mishved, attacks will inflict freezing damage. Come across the nature stag Jabora, and restoration items will be more effective. This is a simplified example of just one aspect of each spirit, but you get the picture. Resource collection plays a big part too. Through a select few items, weapons can be forged and upgraded, ordinances can be enacted, and spirit skills can be improved. All being said, this combines to give a nice sense of persistent progression. All the divine spirits are exquisitely detailed, appearing every time a new blessing is chosen. They have a strange neon glow to them, something I think is very fitting of divine entities. They also have foreboding statues in the sanctum, watching over the Omen Forged as they are reborn after each failed run. In fact, everything about this game works for me visually. From the dusty sanctum to the detailed enemies, it's apparent time has been spent perfecting the artwork. The gameplay is also excellent. The Omen Forged is very agile, and combining attacks to defeat the hordes of enemies is very satisfying. Swinging a club or wielding a bow, the combat reminds me of something like Smash Brothers. There's even rooms that are dedicated to a timed battle, with the aim to launch your opponent off the geometry and into oblivion. And as a roguelike, there's a fair bit of content available to play through. The variety of enemies, even early on, keeps it fresh. There may only be a few completely different enemies in the game, but there are plenty of variations of said enemies. This keeps each run challenging. There is a slight lack of content, but the game was released with a roadmap already planned. Sadly, as a roguelike, it fails to capture my attention for long. This isn't a particular fault with Spiritfall, but rather the genre of game itself. I feel the industry is so rammed full with this type of gameplay, I'm starting to feel fatigued by it, to the point where I almost immediately disregard any roguelike game. I find playing the same few levels repeatedly to be frustrating, especially if a randomly brutal stage completely ruins a run. Objectively, this isn't a direct criticism of Spiritfall. It stands out from the crowd thanks to some slick, responsive movement and truly beautiful artwork. It's definitely a game I keep coming back to, fighting my way through a few runs at a time. As for the early access roadmap, there's several months worth of updates planned. Each one is named, teasing at the content of each update. Spirit Forged, out in May 2023, features new weapons and spirit skins. The Frigid Veil, out June 2023, introduces a new region and a new boss. Finally, Herald of Darkness, out July 2023, brings a new spirit and a new weapon. Obviously, all of this is subject to change, but a pretty substantial roadmap is laid out for the future. Overall, Spiritfall does well to beat back its contemporaries. It combines enough gameplay mechanics to feel fresh, without becoming too overwhelming or muddled. It also seems pretty devoid of bugs, which is a great start for early access. It plays well on Steam Deck as well, which is the platform I played most on. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Spiritfall Early Access. If you enjoyed this video, then by all means like, comment, subscribe, do that social media goodness, and as always, keep living that best nerd life.